It's day 4 of 10 days with Katherine Parr, and today we're thinking about her life at court before marrying Henry VIII. Please excuse the setup, I can't find my camera stand, I can't find a stand for my microphone, so sorry it's all a little bit, kitchen table, bear with me. So we left Katherine yesterday when her husband, Lord Latimer, had just died in the March of 1543. Now, as I said, there's some suggestion that she joined the Lady Mary's entourage, household, in around that time, so in the sort of winter of 1543, and that because Mary was in a good relationship with her father at that time, she was regularly at court, and therefore Katherine was regularly at court and was able to catch Henry's eye. But as I said, it's still disputed whether she was part of Mary's household. She may also have been regularly at court because of her family's connections. Both her brother and sister had prominent roles, so she could have just been there as relations to them. Let's just speak for a moment about her appearance at this time, because film and TV tend to portray her as sort of an aging widow, very plain, to just sort of fall into this position of nurse and caretaker. But that suggestion of her looking that way doesn't really hold up against the evidence. She was medium height, she had red hair and grey eyes. She apparently had a wonderful personality, very lively personality, and as we know, she was a scholar, so she had an interest in things like Erasmus, so in humanist writing. She was a graceful dancer, and she liked fine things. She liked fine clothes and jewels, and she particularly favoured the colour of crimson in her own clothes and that of eventually what would be her staff. As we've said before, we know Henry VIII was fussy, and he would not have been attracted to somebody who was not physically attractive. And I know, again, it comes up that he just picked someone to be his carer, and we don't think that that's true. So try and look past the sort of portrayals of her as a, elderly, unattractive widow. She certainly was not. Who certainly did find her attractive was Thomas Seymour, brother of the a few back Queen Jane Seymour, and uncle to Prince Edward. So she had a romance with him after the death of her husband, and he was one of the most eligible bachelors at court. So again, a little bit more evidence there perhaps that she was an attractive woman in both appearance and personality. It's likely that Katherine was introduced to Thomas Seymour via her brother William, so William's got a position at court. And again, Thomas Seymour, although you never really see it from the pictures, he seems to have been quite roguish. He's very ambitious, which we know, so an attractive member of the court, and they certainly caught each other's eye, and it seems as though she fell in love with him. In one letter she wrote, "My mind was fully bent the other time I was at liberty to marry you before any man I know." So we know she would very much have liked to marry Thomas Seymour at this point. Henry VIII had other ideas. Now we'll talk more about her marriage to Henry tomorrow, but at this point she's caught Henry's eye, and given with the choice of Thomas Seymour and Henry VIII, despite being in love with Thomas Seymour, she just can't do it. Her family very much pushed her in the direction of Henry, in that, this is God's will here. But also, you can't turn down the king and marry somebody else. It's either Henry or no one. So that's where we're going to leave Katherine today. In love with Thomas Seymour, but catching the eye of Henry at the court. So I'll see you tomorrow when we're going to think about her eventual marriage to Henry VIII.